You can see the carnage from drilling that thumb hole. Now that was an 1.5 inch bit, and that's huge. So it took a while. I got to be honest with you, it probably took 10 minutes of going a little bit at a time and using the vacuum to get the pieces out. Don't forget though, old Blue here, it's about 30 years old and not in the best of shape. If I had a more powerful drill, that would probably be a little easier. I fully expect the rest of the holes we drill, since they're going to be closer to the 1 inch range, to be a lot easier to do. But there's one more thing we need to do here with this thumb hole. These switch grips have some tabs that stick down through the outer, and they need clearance in the bottom of the hole in order to be able to rotate and lock. The nice thing about that is that means I need to drill, instead of an 1.5 inch hole, I have to take off this little spacer, remove the pitch plate, and remove the 1.5 inch drill bit. And now I'm going to put in an 1.25 inch drill bit, and I'm going to go just that little bit deeper. And that's going to give me a little deeper hole with 1/8 of an inch all the way around that will give me clearance for the switch grip tabs to fit through. This also is the way you would make concentric holes if you were first putting in a thumb slug and then actually drilling your thumb hole to the proper size. You'd put that other size drill in after you've drilled the thumb slug and put it in, and you would put it right back in and lock the pitch plate in place, and you've got a perfect concentric hole. So I'm going to go ahead and drill that tiny bit deeper, just the amount of this spacer here thick, so that there's clearance for that switch grip inner sleeve to lock into the outer. Okay, I've got my inner sleeve, or my outer sleeve, glued into the ball and aligned with my center line. And I wish I had a router so that I could cut this down flush, but instead I'm using this heavy-duty file, and it's doing the job. It's just taking a little longer. Obviously, I'm not a pro shop. Having filed the outer sleeve down flush with the ball, there's a little bit of a lip on the inside that I need to remove, and the KMT jig comes with a bevel sander. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here and take that little bit. There we go. The little lip is gone. Okay, now I'm going to drill holes for my finger inserts. This is a 31/32 bit. You'll see that I've drawn a line parallel to the center line right through where the finger hole is going to be drilled. And I've laid the drill down this way to see that I'm not going to cut that line at the bridge. And I've laid it down this way to see that I'm not going to cut this line at the span. Hold it up here, and I make a dimple. And I'm just going to twist it in there a bit so that when I lock everything together, I can center the pitch plate, center the drill bit in the pitch plate, follow this line along these places where it has to be to make the pitch that I want, until the drill bit drops into that dimple I made, and then I can lock everything down. Now I have installed the number 7 pitch plate onto the KMT jig. I'm still loose here so I can move the ball, and what I'm trying to do is to position the lines where they need to be to attain the pitches I'm trying to achieve, and then move the ball along that line until the drill bit drops into the dimple that I made. There it is. It's in the dimple. I'm going to get up here and make sure my lines are lined up the way I want. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to clamp it down. I'm going to go ahead and drill the ball. I have a spacer here that will ensure that I go 2 inches deep for the finger holes. It only took about 45 seconds to drill that 31/32 finger hole, as opposed to a little over 10 minutes to do the 1.5 inch thumb hole. So there's really a big difference if you're trying to do a switch grip. But it was easy to do, and I'm ready to clean this up and drill the other hole, and then I'll put the grips in. I don't think I need to film again setting up the other hole for you. Okay, check this out. I've got a drilled bowling ball with a thumb insert, finger inserts. It fits my hand. It comes off my hand. I can bowl with this. That was a lot of fun to go ahead and drill my own ball on this jig. But as Steve at KMT explained to me, this jig is not for everyone. You do need to be mechanically inclined. You do need to be persistent to get through drilling the first couple balls, and it gets easier every time. And don't forget to respect your pro shop, because they really should fit you professionally at least once a year, because your game is going to change.